Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory here with Will and Tad. We focus on the 32 teams of the NFL. We have a Week 11 recap featuring the Minnesota Vikings going to Nashville and beating the Titans 23 to 13. The Vikings improved to 8-2 on the season. Tennessee falls to an abysmal 2-8. A very rough season for the Titans, to say the least. For Minnesota, it was a big bounce back game for Sam Darnold, 20 of 32, 246 yards, two touchdowns, no interceptions. Did have one lost fumble that had a lot to do more with some poor blockings, bit of a poor handoff, I believe. So that was a factor too. Also, eight rushes for 18 yards and a touchdown. So overall, three touchdowns on the day for Sam Darnold. Looked a lot more comfortable than the week before against Jacksonville. The Vikings run game, they had a bit of a struggle, only averaging 2.4 yards per rush with Aaron Jones 15 for 39, Cam Akers 10 for 25. So big credit there to the Tennessee front seven competing there. Um, Vikings receivers, Jordan Addison had a big touchdown, three catches for 61 yards, and amongst second year wide receivers in the NFC, where would you rank Jordan Addison, Will?
Yeah, Jordan Addison to me is a guy who, aside from his off the field issues, of course, which he's learned from and everything. Yeah, he's a tremendous player. He's very athletic. He has speed. Obviously, on that touchdown, it was a very high moment for the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of potential there, especially in a system like Minnesota's with Sam Darnold, perhaps a receiver that can be mentored with Justin Jefferson and the likes of guys like that. So this is an offense that suits him well.
Certainly suits him well. The aforementioned Justin Jefferson, six catches for 81 yards. It's been a bit of a slow start for TJ Hawkinson coming back, only two catches for 13 yards in this game. It looks like he's still working his way back to 100% from the injury suffered last year towards the end of the season. So still working on getting TJ Hawkinson all the way back. Um, Looking at the defense, we had another quality showing from the future Hall of Famer Harrison Smith with three solo tackles, two pass deflections, and of course the game sealing interception. So looking at Harrison Smith, one of the best safeties in the game throughout his career, the seasoned veteran out of the University of Notre Dame, who is ranked number sixth in the college football playoff rankings. So, looking at Harrison Smith, what is your take on this seasoned veteran?
Yeah, Harrison Smith, who, um, yeah, in my opinion, very poor choice of college, but nonetheless in the NFL, who, yeah, a seasoned veteran if nothing else, definitely provides leadership, definitely provides the poise that this team needs.
Certainly, a lot of poise provided by Harrison Smith. Chose to come back to the Vikings. Definitely at the later stages of his career at this point. So definitely looking to get the best we can out of him towards the end of his career. Another big game for Andrew Van Ginkel as well. The Gink, eight tackles,
Yes,
seven solo tackles, two sacks, two quarterback hits, three tackles for loss. A big game for the linebacker who the Vikings got in the offseason after a productive run with the Dolphins.
a veteran if nothing else out of Wisconsin.
Yes, a veteran if nothing else. So some good work there. Yeah, all in all, the Vikings they had a big day. Ryan Wright, the punter, had a quality showing with five total punts, three inside the 20, and a couple pinned inside the 5 yard line. So sometimes the punter deserves some credit too. He had a big day.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a big day there. Will Levis just kind of a struggle here, 17 to 31, 295 yards, a touchdown. His offensive line had, I mean, despite the Minnesota Vikings' great defensive line, still, despite outside of this particular game, you've noticed the Titans' offensive line struggling a bit here.
Yes, definitely the
Even
Vikings.
despite how good Minnesota's defensive line is.
Yeah, the Vikings front seven was definitely a level above the level of the Titans offensive line, to say the least. But you'd like to see a little more compete. Just 33 total rushing yards for Tennessee, 5 sacks allowed. That's just you gotta compete a little better up front, or else you're not gonna have a chance to win football games.
To me, the best performance on this Titans team was none other than Nick Westbrook Ikhine. Let's talk about Mr. Nick Westbrook Ikhine for a second. Yeah, fifth-year player out of the University of Indiana. Yeah, 15 catches so far this year, 256 yards, 5 touchdowns. I really honestly, truly look at a guy like this. Yeah, the 2 catches for 117 yards and that massive bomb of a touchdown that was thrown to him. Probably the one good moment, really, for Tennessee was that big play by Mr. Nick Westbrook Ikhine. I look at Mr. Nick Westbrook Ikhine, and man, I think in his 5th season out of Indiana, um, certainly a veteran, if nothing else, Tad.
Yeah, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is an interesting piece. He's had to deal with a lot of inconsistent quarterback play throughout his career, of course. He's never had more than 500 yards in a season, so he's just looking to get more consistency. He has already set a career high in touchdown receptions, and well,
Yeah,
obviously that 98-yard reception was a career long in terms of
he
yards.
can be sneakily good sometimes.
He can
Like
be sneakily good sometimes, for sure.
that's like it's almost kind of the same take as Kate Otten, like, but as a wide receiver. Like, he's a wide receiver that can be sneakily good sometimes. Quite literally. So I mean, I think he did. I mean, that was obviously an emotional moment for Titans fans there at the stadium that went. I mean, you got to figure, like, from the perspective of Titans fans that like went to the game and saw it, and hardcore diehard Titans fans probably
Yeah,
enjoyed that moment. So
for sure.
a rough season. I mean, and they're a rebuilding team, and like their fans know that they're a rebuilding team, and they're trying to develop Will Levis here, but you just don't know if it's going to fully work out yet. So yeah, big grats to your Vikes on the 23-13 victory here.
Yes, definitely. A big win, a win the Vikings they needed to keep pace with Detroit. Obviously, we see what they do every week. So a very competitive NFC North. Detroit 9-1, Minnesota 8-2, and then the other team from Wisconsin 7-3, a game behind the Vikings.
Yeah, so there we have it. I don't really have any other final thoughts or takes on this game.
Looking at the week ahead, the Vikings travel to the Windy City. Their first look at Caleb Williams, noon Central Time on Fox, and then looking at the Tennessee Titans in a week. They will be facing the division leading Houston Texans on the road, also a noon Central game on CBS. So that's what they have to look ahead. Thanks for watching and following the Gridiron Glory. Please continue to like, subscribe, and follow along for the quality content that Will and I provide. Thanks for watching.